What's up, guys? Madness here, and I'm going to be going over all the different pets and locations I use to farm all the different pets in the game. Currently, I have just gotten every pet you can get in the game. I got the Umbra Pet this morning, actually, and I was like, well, now's a really good time to, I guess, go over my pet guide. So here it is. And before I begin getting into the locations of the different pets, I'm going to talk about these two pets in particular, the Reindeer Pet and the Easter Bunny Pet. Now, the Reindeer Pet looks like this. I named him Jerry, but he will just say Reindeer if you have him already. You cannot get this pet currently in the game anymore. I don't know if Bart's going to bring them back every Christmas, but this was the Christmas pet during the Snowverlord event that went on for a few months earlier this year. And sorry, buddy, I don't want to trade with you. So yeah, that's the Reindeer Pet. If you already have him, awesome. But if you don't, it's not a huge deal. You can still collect all the rest of the pets in the game and still say you've collected all the pets. If you didn't have a chance to get to play Curse of Aros back when he was being offered in the game, so I wouldn't worry about it. Right now, you do have the opportunity to get another exclusive pet, which is the Easter Bunny. And to get the Easter Bunny, like you see right here, you have to go from spawn to this chocolate Easter egg location right here. It's a portal, and you just enter the portal, and you go this way, you head west, until you come across the Feaster Bunny and a bunch of cool looking trees and ores over here. These ores you mine for eggs, and you fight the Feaster Bunny for eggs as well and other items. Just dodge his egg attacks so that you don't take too much damage, and you will get a decent chance to get this Easter Bunny pet. I actually did that Easter Bunny pet with the ores, and I also did it down here is where I got my Easter Bunny pet. I was doing mining in this location here where you can fight the rabid bunnies. I don't want to get too deep into this because it is an event pet, so I did these 3 ores right here, and I eventually got the Easter Bunny pet by opening eggs. So as I head back, I guess I'll just touch on the different leveling suggestions I have for the pets as well. I will be going over what levels I suggest you go after these pets at. So for obviously the first pet that I'm going to be talking about, the Bat Pet, you just need to be level 1, and you're going to head right north of spawn to this beginner location right here, and you're just going to farm Bat Pets. It's going to drop an egg, Bat Pet egg. It took me around 100 to 200 bats, I believe. It was a while ago, so forgive me if I don't really remember. But it does drop a Bat Pet egg, and it does cost you 5,000 gold to hatch the Bat Pet from the egg itself once you get the Bat Pet egg. So yeah, that's the Bat Pet. It's a pretty awesome pet, actually, for being such a beginner pet. It is still pretty cool. I just never used it. I went straight to the Slime Pet right out of the gates. That was the second pet I ever got, was the Slime Pet. And to get to the Slime Pet from spawn, you're just going to head east over to the slime location. And the slime location is right here. Where is my Slime Pet? I should get him out so you guys can see what he looks like. That's the Slime Pet. And you will be farming these guys round robin in a big circle, collecting slime chunks. They're an uncommon drop, and you will need around 10 of them. Well, you will need exactly 10 of them to make the Slime Pet. And I believe it costs 10,000 gold once you get all 10 slime chunks, so it does cost a decent amount of money to actually make the pet from the slime chunks itself. So that's a thing. So you need to have a small amount of money, but I guarantee you'll probably have enough if you farm all 10 chunks in succession without buying anything else. It's just going to take you a while. I think it took me, I would say, farming probably 600 or 700 of those to get all 10. I mean, they are uncommon, but it's a grind for sure. All pet hunts are basically a grind for this game. So yeah, and that's still a beginner pet. You still are going to be extremely low level, and you'll probably gain enough levels fighting them plus the bats to achieve the pets to move on to high level stuff. In fact, that's how I originally started leveling in this game, was I just hunted all the pets. So the next pet I'm going to be talking about, now that we're back in spawn, is the forest bat. Now, where I got the forest bat was down here. If you just head south of spawn to these locations right here where you have all the iron and coal nodes, I just farmed these forest bats right over here because they were in such a good little pocket that I could just bunch them up and just kill them quickly. See, and you probably want to be around the level of the pet you're looking to get. So level 15 is a good, I'll just pick up the bat orb. Level 15 to level 20 is a good level to be around when you do this, just so you don't die a lot if you forget how to use potions and things like that. Oh, a lot of silly bat orbs, that's cool. Yeah, and it's another cool pet. I never really use them that often, obviously, because there's much cooler pets in my opinion to use. But that's the forest bat right here. It's a very simple, quick thing to get. You can also head to, and while I picked up those bat orbs, which is interesting, you can also farm for the forest bat egg, not this way, but up here at the warbat location. The warbat will start producing squads of 4 forest bats a shot as you're fighting him, and I will show you that real quick as well. In case you guys don't want to just round robin fight, you want to just kind of stand here and fight the warbat for better bat drops, like the bat ring and the bat amulet and things like that, to fill your amulet and ring slots. It's a very simple way, see how he does all 4 bats like that? It's a very simple way to gain a bat egg quickly, a forest bat egg, because they do just keep coming in succession, especially if you don't kill the warbat. So yeah, that's how you can attain this pet. I have to figure out how to get out of here. But hold on a sec. Just up here, and we're out. Okay, so we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about the Snowbat Pet. Now, I did the Snowbat Pet, the Ice Slime Pet, and the Snowman Pet all basically at the same time. And before I even get to the Snowbat Pet, one last thing to talk about with the Forest Bat is it will cost you 25,000 gold to hatch. So there's one more thing you have to look for when you're looking to pick up this pet from the egg. And I think the same goes for the Snowbat Pet. So the Snowbat Pet will cost you 25,000 gold, I believe. Yeah, 25,000 gold to hatch this pet once you get the Snowbat wing. And from spawn, you're gonna follow where I go right now to the snow area in the game, and I will show you exactly where I went to farm snowbats to get the Snowbat wing and to hatch it into the Snowbat Pet. So you're gonna go here. You're gonna take this path past the frozen tunnels. That's the frozen tunnels. You're gonna keep heading east past these snowmen, and this is actually the location that I farm snowmen in, and we'll get to that in a second. Just head over this way, keep heading east until you come across the most eastern wall for the entire snow area, which is right over here. And I started at this bat right here, and I would head down and kill this one and this one, and then I would round robin it to the ice slime, head up and kill the snowmen, and then keep round robining back to the snowbat until I picked up the Snowbat wing. And that's how I got the Snowbat Pet. And I believe it took me, I would say, 400 kills before I got the Snowbat wing. It wasn't it wasn't a lot. It really wasn't. It wasn't that bad. The Snowman's a much more difficult pet to get than the Snowbat. So yeah, I'm not going to clip this, and I'm not going to go back to spawn to show you this because it's all in one basic area for the next couple of pets. So the ice slime is the next one I want to touch on. And for the ice slime pet, you're really just going to head north from the snowbats I just showed you. And they're all, a lot of them up here. If you keep going north, they're right up here in this area here. And these are where I really started grinding my ice slime chunks, as you will need 10 of them to get the ice slime pet. If I double check, it will also need 25,000 gold to assemble the ice slime pet from the 10 ice slime chunks you get. But these are the ones I used right here. I killed those in succession. I would just keep round robining like this, make kind of like a figure 8 or something, because there's a bunch right here, and you just keep killing them over and over again until they do drop the ice chunks to build the ice slime pet. It's a cool looking pet. I really do like the slime pets. They are really awesome because they're just like slightly smaller than the actual monsters themselves, which makes them kind of cooler. See, I missed that one, but I don't really care. I'm just showing you the locations of where I farmed them. So yeah, that's the ice slime pet. Never really used them, but I just really thought they were cool enough to collect, so that's why I did that. Next is the Snowman Pet. Now, the Snowman Pet's difficult because you need 2 ingredients to build. You're going to need 10 snowballs and a carrot. And now, when you're doing these, I farmed all of these snowmen in the snow location. I just kept running around while I was looking for the other pets and killing these snowmen. But the best spot that I found for snowmen, if it wasn't too crowded, was right when you come to the entrance of the snow location. I'm going to actually run right back to the entrance just to give you some perspective as to where it is. So like this way, I go down. So right when you get to from the entrance to the ice place, the snow area, right? So you're coming from spawn, you pass the frozen tunnels. These 3 snowmen right here are excellent for farming the ingredients needed to build, well, and 4 right here, to build your snowman. I kill them really quickly because I'm a really high level, but it would take you, I would guesstimate a few hits to kill the snowman, and it would give you enough time to not have to wait around too long for the snowman. But just be warned that other players will be farming these as well. They're a pretty popular spot if you're looking to fill up your collection or use the snowman as your actual pet companion. Like I said, you'll need 10 snowballs and a carrot. And the carrot is extremely rare. When I first fought the snowman to try to obtain the snowman pet, I believe I had to kill, I would say, around 1,000 of these in order to gain all of the ingredients. And it might take you more, it might take you less. It was really determined by the carrot. And I was lucky enough to gain the carrot while I was still farming for all the snowballs. So I think I got to snowball 6 or 7 before the carrot dropped for me, so I didn't have to worry about that. But the carrot is definitely the rarest part of the whole snowman. It could very well take you into the 2,000-3,000 area for snowmen. It just really depends on your RNG. So yeah, those were the ones that I am going to touch on in succession. All the rest of them, all the rest of the pets, I'm going to start from spawn and head over to that location again, just to make it easier for newer players to kind of catch their bearings as to where to go and how to get back for each of these, because I feel like a lot of new players have the question for the pets. A lot of the older players, a lot of the seasoned vets of the game already know basically everything there is to know about where everything is. So this isn't a guide oriented for the new players. Sorry, buddy, I don't want to trade with you. Okay, so the next 2 pets are a little different from all the rest of them. I'm actually just gonna drop those. The Skeletal Bat Pet and the Skeletal Snake Pet are the only 2 pets in the game that you have to go into the PvP area to get. I'm not familiar with any of these monsters being outside the PvP area. I don't believe so. So yeah, you're gonna have to deal with PvP content to get these two pets. But the ones I farmed for the Skeletal Bat were those two, and then the other bats down here. So the 4 total in this area. And you see, I don't really want to take it away from all the other players trying to get their Skeletal Bat pets if they are doing that kind of stuff. But this is the general location that I went to farm for Skeletal Bat pets. And I would say you at least want to be around their level 35 or better, in order to effectively kill them without dying yourself and without wasting too many of your potions, because low-level players seem to burn through their potions way too much, in my opinion, and they run out and get kind of screwed in how they play the game. So yeah, I would definitely wait till you've collected a few of the lower-level pets, like the ones I just showed you, before coming here and trying your luck with the Skeletal Pets. Now those were the bat pets, and I'm going to take out my Skeletal Snake Pet now and show you where I personally farmed skeletal snakes. Now, I'm going to start back at spawn just to give you guys more bearings as to where I go, because it does get confusing if you don't know where I'm going. So here's spawn again. You're entering the PvP area, and you can kill this one right here and then just keep moving down, but I usually just don't stay up there because there's too much traffic of enemy players coming in and out. Instead, I farmed these 3 skeletal snakes right here. 1, 2, and 3. I'm leveling them up because I never used them. I just collected them. And then I would head down here while I was waiting for them to respawn, and I'd kill these 2 right here. Obviously somebody killed this one, but they're right here. So 5 total, and I would just make long runs up and down, 1, 2, and 3, and then head on back down to kill the next 2. And that's what I did for the Skeletal Snake Pet. It did take me quite a while to get the Skeletal Snake, I'll be honest. This little sucker, I had to kill around 2,000 skeletal snakes just to get him. The Skeletal Bat, I actually lucked out, and while I was basically exploring the PvP area, I got it on like kill 37 or something like that. I double checked because I just saw it in my inventory. I was like, wow, that's really cool. So yeah, it's totally random, each and every pet drop, which is kind of cool. It does add a bit of luck to the game, which is, you know, I understand. These do not cost anything to make. The few lower level pets in the game are the only ones that actually cost money to hatch, basically. And I don't fully understand why Bart did that. Maybe to kind of deter players from just constantly collecting pet eggs and hatching them, because before, I actually have 3 bat pets. Before the new update came through, you were allowed to kind of collect bat eggs from other players' drops and things like that. But that has changed, so you are no longer allowed to do those things. So I think that was some kind of deterrent that he had made in order to keep people from hoarding too many pets or something like that. I have no idea. But the next pets that we're going to be talking about don't really require any money to hatch once you receive them. So yeah, that was the Skeletal Bat and the Skeletal Snake Pets. Now I'm going to head back to spawn and we'll go to the next one. Put him away. Okay, so now we're on to the Cave Bat Pet. And I'm just double checking to see. Yeah, I don't think the Cave Bat Pet actually costs anything. I'll double check that later and clip the video if I'm wrong. But starting from spawn, you're gonna head to the abandoned mine, and to get to the abandoned mine, you're gonna go east towards the slime location, and you're gonna head north, and that's how you get to the abandoned mine. It's right up here. Right up here. Past all these forest spiders, right here. And when you get to the abandoned mine, you're going to head north, and then you're going to go into this room right here to the east. And this is where everybody farms potions for the most part for low level players. It's also a great way to start grinding your levels up and just getting more familiar with how to conserve potions and things like that, because potions are going to start coming into play a lot more heavily later on in the game when you deal with monsters that deal a lot more damage. So this took me a while to receive my cave bat pet. It just took me a long time. I did not have very good luck with these guys. I think they're either a rare or very rare drop, so you will farm these things a lot unless you're really lucky to get this drop. It was not an easy grind for me. I think it took me around 12 or 1500 of these before I actually got my drop. So yeah, just be warned, it will be quite a grind to get your cave bat pet. But it's a cool pet. I mean, it's one of the bat pets, which is always kind of cool. Yeah, that's where I went and farmed for that cave bat pet. Now we're gonna move on to the Raptors, the Raptor Pet, which is for a lot of people their favorite pet until they like get to the higher level pets like the Ember Pet and stuff like that. So we're back at spawn. I'm gonna put you away, and we're gonna take out the Raptor Pet. Okay, and from spawn to get to the Raptors, you're gonna head west, and you're gonna head to the location where people farm maples and gold ore. So you're gonna head west and you're gonna go south. And you're gonna keep going south just like I'm doing until you get to this location here. And here are the Raptors. They are level 49, and I would suggest you be at least their level with decent gear, and I would say Mythin or Cobalt before taking on the Raptors, because these things can do a lot of damage to new players and kill you quite quickly if you are not prepared for these, especially if you're taking them on in small groups of 2 or 3. I just kind of wandered around in this main area right here where it's a little bit more open and fought as many as I could, as fast as I could. And it really didn't take me that long to achieve a Raptor Pet. I think it only took me, I would say, 500 or 600 kills before I got my Raptor Pet. And it wasn't that bad, actually. They drop pretty good drops. You'll start getting saving graces from these guys. They'll drop Hearts of Grace and the amulet strings, so you'll get those pretty often, often enough to start accumulating stacks of those until you achieve your Raptor Pet. But after you get your Raptor Pet, I really wouldn't recommend you guys even fight these anymore unless you get them in tasks, just because they're not really worth your time compared to some of the other candy compared to some of the other tasks you could be doing. So yeah, this is where you get the Raptor Pet. Right here. Let me get the candy. Cool. I get five lollies. Getting my stack back up. I do splurge every once in a while and just go crazy buying cosmetics now, just because I like to switch it up and look different and things like that. So maybe in a few future videos you guys might see me looking a little different from what I look now. But hey, it's not a big deal. So yeah, the next pet we're going to look at is the Forest Fiend Pet. And now the Forest Fiend Pet is coming from spawn. They're in a similar location to the Forest Bats, except they're a little bit further south. There's a bunch of different ways you can get there. I suggest you just follow the path that I'm showing you now, just because it's pretty simple to get there going this way. Like, I think there's another route that is even closer, but I'm just not really familiar with that too much. But here are the Forest Fiends. Now they're level 53 and they do hit pretty hard. So I really suggest you guys get to, I would say, level 60 and have at least Cobalt before you really start to grind these for the Forest Fiend Pet. Yeah, they also drop Nature Swords, which is great. So it will actually alleviate some of the boredom of just constantly picking up potions and fighting these things over and over. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it's about. The Nature Swords, they don't really cost anything, but I'm sure at the level that you want to be fighting these guys at, it's probably a decent upgrade to the swords you have. So yeah, these are the Forest Fiends. It took me around 700 kills to get the Forest Fiend Pet, and it didn't cost me any money to, once you got them basically, is how it goes for these. And then obviously to get back, see how it's kind of confusing to get back. There's a lot of different weird routes you can take. I just suggest you just try to go north in the most gradual path you can take to get back to spawn, and here's spawn right here. So yeah, that was the Forest Fiend Pet. And now we are going on to the Ice Fiend Pets. Now the Ice Fiend Pets are also in the snow location. I did not go over them when I went over the Snowman, Ice Slimes, and Snowbats because these are a much higher level than those. I consider those more beginner pets to go out for, whereas I consider these are like intermediate type pets. All the different Fiend Pets are intermediate pets in my opinion, just because you would be having to have been a pretty high level just to start farming these enough to not die over and over or waste too many of your potions. But this is where they are, in the location south of that snowman location I showed you earlier where I farmed for snowmen. And you're just going to keep killing these guys over and over again until he drops. It only took me like 300 or 400 kills from these guys, and they don't really hit as hard as the Raptors do. So if you already went and did your Raptor Pet and you picked him up, you'll have an easier time with these guys than you would have at the Raptors. But yeah, so these are the Ice Fiends, and I just did a big round robin for each. I think these guys dropped the Glacial Sword, if I remember correctly, which doesn't really cost too much if you're trying to sell, but it is a good upgrade versus like, you know, Cobalt Sword or a Mythen Sword, and they're very cheap. I think they're like, I don't even know, 200k right now. They used to be way more expensive when I first started playing, but they dropped dramatically in price when people farmed these. So yeah, it's the Ice Fiends. What do I have next after the Ice Fiends? The Rock Fiends. Okay. Now the Rock Fiends are interesting because you can get them from not only the Rock Fiends themselves, but you can also get them from the Rock Demon, which kind of sets them apart from the other Fiend Pets because it is dropped by a boss. So if you are going to be farming the Rock Demon for other rock, you know, dead rock gear and things like that, well, be on the lookout for this. This is a much easier way to achieve that pet than, I would say, farming Rock Fiends. So obviously going back to spawn, I'm going to take him out to show you what he looks like as a pet. There he is. And we're going to head back to the abandoned mine. Now the places I farmed Rock Fiends were really oriented towards the Rock Demon location. I usually tried to run around killing Rock Fiends until I saw the Rock Demon spawn, and then I would immediately go after the Rock Demon because both offer you a chance for the pet. So once I hit the abandoned mine, I head into this location here east where everybody farms potions, the cave bat location, and then you're going to use this tunnel here and head north. Right up here. And this is the location that I farm my Rock Fiends to eventually unlock the Rock Demon, awaken the Rock Demon who spawns here. And if you're not interested in fighting the Rock Demon, you can find Rock Fiends, a whole bunch of Rock Fiends following me over here into this big hall right here. See, this is a great place to farm the Rock Fiends to look for that Rock Fiend pet. So it also doesn't cost you anything, but I really suggest you be at least level 65 with at least Cobalt and a Glacial or Nature Sword if you're going to go after the Rock Fiend pet. If you're not those levels, I suggest you do your tasks and you grind away until you're around that level, seriously, because it isn't really worth your time to go after this pet and the Dead Rock set if you are having too much trouble spending too much potions and time dying and things like that trying to get it. So really focus on the other pets before you go after this one. Those Rock Fiends do hit pretty hard like you saw, And yeah, you will get it. I got mine at around, I think it was only like 200 or 300 kill count. I didn't have to wait a long time when I really started grinding on the Rock Fiends to gain the Rock Fiend pet. So you shouldn't have a hard time getting them. But again, it's all RNG. It's all complete luck. Just drop those. And we'll go on to the Luminant Slime. And now these are the pets, these up and coming pets. Really have to be level dependent, especially for the pets I'm going to be showing you after the Luminant Slime Pet. The Luminant Slime Pet, you will have to be level 65 to get. You will have to be 65, as I said, because you have to go to Viraxis, and Viraxis does not allow you to enter until you are 65. Like all slime pets, the Luminant Slime Pet, you will be collecting slime chunks. So the ones that I farmed, I think I farmed all of these in these locations here. So if you just go south of the portal, I farmed all of these slimes right down in here. And I would kill these slimes 1, 2, 3, and then I would round robin it this way. And just continue on. And then back and forth I went, killing these slimes, just because nobody really comes here and they're close enough to not be too annoying to walk to. I think there's other slimes in a more bunched up area over here as well, so if you don't feel like making a round robin, you can kill these 3 repeatedly in succession over and over again until you get the slime chunks. So I did a little bit of combinations of both for that. So yeah, you'll need 10 slime chunks collected, and then once you get your 10 slime chunks, you can create your Luminant Slime Pet, which is my favorite slime pet of all, obviously, because he is really cool. He glows, which is like, ooh, he glows, you know. But he's my favorite of the slime pets for that reason, and that reason alone, because they're all basically the same. So we're gonna head back to spawn again, and I will be going over the next pet, which is the Ancient Bat. And I actually had a lot of trouble getting the Ancient Bat pet. It was one of the longer grinds that I had to do, and from spawn you're going to head to the Frozen Tunnels, which is at the entrance of the snow area in the game. So basically you just head east and then southeast until you hit that tunnel. I think it's level 40 to enter the tunnel, but if you're going to be fighting Ancient Bats to get the Ancient Bat pet and farming them, you really want to have some decent gear at this point. I'd say at least Virax or a Dead Rock set, and be at least level 75 with a Nature or Glacial Sword or better. And so once you enter those Frozen Tunnels, you're just going to follow the path that I'm showing you here. They're everywhere in here, so it really doesn't matter as long as you really don't get lost in these locations. So there's, oh cool, I don't have to go to my bank for a prison key, because the next pet will be in the prison, one of the next ones. Okay, my inventory is full, but I farmed them here in that first little zone right here, and I also came up north here to this room right here. This room it is the best in my opinion if you're going to be farming Ancient Bats. It's just got a lot. You can kill a bunch of them at once, and it will take some time to get that Ancient Bat pet because it is very rare, but you'll get it. It's just a matter of time. So you just keep farming these guys until you get that drop. This is the room I recommend you go into. If it's full, you can head up north here to the west, and you can farm these bats right in here. If it's really full, or a higher level player is kind of, you know, taking control of the bats down in this location here. But yeah, so that's the Ancient Bat pet. I picked up my pet. Now the next creature we're going to be going over, the next pet, is the Ice Raptor Pet. And since I think after watching this video, if you guys have followed along and haven't skipped straight to the Ice Raptor Pets, I'm not going to go all the way back to spawn. I'm just going to start here at the entrance to the snow place. because I don't feel like you guys, I feel like you guys have a decent grasp of how to get here by now. To get to the Ice Raptors, you're gonna head southeast past the Snowmen to this area down in here. This is where the Ice Raptors are. Yeah, the southeast area of the snow area. I don't even know what it's called. And they're right down in here. And these are the 3 first raptors that I farmed over and over again. 1, 2, and 3, like I just killed. And then I just kind of head in zigzags trying to pick up, you know, 2 to 3 raptors at a time, farming these guys. It took me around 800 or 900 kills to get the Raptor Pet. So it was a pretty hard grind because these guys hit pretty hard. But I suggest this whole area is filled with them, so there is no real wrong way to start farming them. You just find raptors that are open and try to save as many potions as you can, obviously. I recommend you guys being at least level 80 for these guys if you're going to farm them effectively. You see how there's a lot of higher level players in here, like that level 92, a level 82, and they have Spectral and better. Like he's got Dead Rock and Spectral, and I'm sure this guy here has probably got Phantom, I'd say. Phantom and Spectral, at least. I do recommend you guys doing that if you're going to go after this pet, because you don't want to waste way too many potions trying to kill these things. They also drop Frozen Skulls and the other ingredients for the Torments of Glaaki, which is an extremely rare, expensive drop, and it's really awesome to get, but you will grind these guys a lot to get those as well. So yeah, if you're going to go after these, try to be a higher level than 80, I'd say, with at least, you know, what you saw there, Dead Rock and Spectral. And yeah, you'll get it in no time. Let's pick him up and not even clip this. So the Phantom Fiend Pet is the next one on the list. It's my favorite Fiend Pet. I haven't used them, obviously, because I just kept using Jerry until I got the Ember Pet. So the Phantom Fiend Pets, I'm not going to go back to spawn again, because again, you're just coming to these frozen tunnels. And when you enter the frozen tunnels, you're going to follow the path that I show you to get to the prison area. Now, the prison area is a higher level area. The Ice Demon is there as well as Spectral Fiends, Spectral Flames, Phantom Flames, and the Ancient Cyclops. But we're focusing on Phantom Fiends for the pet drop. And you're going to head north up to here. Now you will need prison keys like the one you just saw me pick up a little earlier. You can buy them from the merchant, and I think they're very cheap as well. So this is the door to the prison. You enter. As soon as you enter, your key will vanish. So it does cost you 1 key to enter, and I suggest you guys maximize your time in here so that you don't waste too many keys. Phantom Fiends themselves, like this one right here, they are level 88, so I really recommend you guys be in your 80s or 90s fighting this with at least Spectral, with Dead Rock and Spectral, or Glacial sets. Minus the helm. I understand the helm is very expensive with the glacial or nature swords, things like that. You can get away with Phyraxite if you have, say, a spectral sword, if you wanted to make that trade, but try to have some decent gear when you come in here. And when you do come in here, you're going to head east and then north like I just showed you, and you're going to get to these stairs for a really great farming spot for the Phantom Fiends. Now, I just head up right this way, right past that Ancient Cyclops doorway right there, all the way north up here to where there's these big open areas filled with the different Spectral and Phantom monsters. Spectral Flames here, Spectral Fiends down here, and what we're interested in are these Phantom Fiends over here, which is a really excellent spot for farming. A lot of higher level players will come here to farm a lot. So if it's busy, I suggest you hop and look for a different world. But those are where I farm to get my Phantom Fiend Pet. Obviously, because of how many Phantom Fiends there are here. I will show you one more location that's closer to the exit if you guys aren't too sure about where to go and are afraid to get lost. If you head back down south, and I'll go straight back to the entrance location and show you another smaller strip of Phantom Fiends that I'm sure more people are familiar with, but I'm going to show you anyway as an extra location if, say, every world is full for some reason at the Phantom Fiends and you just aren't having a good time trying to secure your Phantom Fiend kills. So we're going to head back to the entrance location right here, and you're going to head east again to this smaller location, which is still a great location. It's very easy actually, because you don't actually have to make any circles. You can kind of just stutter step up and down and kill a bunch of these Phantom Fiends. And you're just going to come up right here. And like I said, you can just stutter step your way and kill a whole bunch of these Phantom Fiends in succession without too much of a hard time or too many, keystrokes or movements, whatever. And you can kill all these basically in a row and then just continue going stutter stepping down again, because they'll come back and respawn fast enough for you to get the kills on them again. And you can just keep doing that over and over again. Just make sure you're not botting or macroing. Obviously you're not cheating. So that's how I recommend you guys get the Phantom Fiend pet. You can pick either one of those locations. They're both excellent. I've used both when I've farmed my tasks for the Phantom Fiends. And yeah, it's a really cool pet. Really, it's really awesome, honestly. Like, if there wasn't an Umbra Pet right now, that's the pet I'd probably use as my end game pet. So yeah. And instead of clipping this, I'll actually talk about damage and other simple things of that nature now. Each pet does the same amount of damage as all the rest of the pets do. They're simply different skins on the same pet, essentially, if that makes any sense. It doesn't matter if you have a Phantom Fiend pet, an Umbra Pet, a Bat Pet. Based on their level, they all do the same damage. And what I've noticed is when you're leveling, so they level at a pace of 1/5 we do when we level up our characters. So that means for every 5 points of experience we gain, they gain 1. And the highest maximum level they can get to is 100. And so what I've basically noticed is it's really important to use pets in general only because you're looking to maximize your damage output. So consider them an extra helping hand when dealing damage. And when you have leveled a pet sufficiently to where it's slowed down its leveling process significantly, whereas you're not getting level up, you're not getting level up pings in the chat for like every time you kill an enemy mob. Like say I have Jerry, right? I have my Reindeer out. Where are you? So Jerry is actually, if I kill a forest, or like just a regular bat here, Jerry is 87, okay? And he dishes out around 400 damage a shot. I'd say between 300 and 400 damage a hit extra for me. And if I hit 1,000 damage on average, say 950 to 1,000, well, he's doing about 1/3 extra damage for me. So each of these pets, once you've leveled with them enough to where they've basically capped out on the speed leveling aspect and have caught up to you, will dish out an additional, like, at least 1/3 damage or better. So having pets in general is very good to use in this game. So if you guys aren't using your pets or you keep forgetting them, try not to. That's why I'm doing this guide. I loved collecting the pets, and they really help you in this game more than you probably think. At least 1/3 of the damage output in the game is given to you by your pet. So really think about that before you go off to fight do your tasks and things like that without it. That brings me to the final combat pet that I'm going to show you. Obviously I'm going to show you all the pets. It's the Ember Pet. and I named him Insanity because it's just a play on words for madness. It literally means the same thing, and I thought that was kind of cool. The Umbra Pet is far different from the rest of the pets in how do you obtain him, obviously, because you have to kill Umbra. And if you really want this pet, I'll show you the location to Umbra right now, but I'm not going to dive into how to deal with that boss. If you are interested in dealing with that boss and how to obtain the Umbra Pet, please, I implore you to check out my Umbra guide. I did a full guide on how to fight Umbra and all of the intricacies involved with fighting Umbra. So please check that out if you guys are really interested in getting to starting farming that boss. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to get to him. And starting from spawn, you're just going to head northeast. You can take this path that I'm showing you here, and I'm sure you're familiar by now if you're really looking into how to get the Ember Pet. You'll need to be level 75, 65 to get into Varaxis, 75 to get into the Umbra portal up here, Umbra's lair, and it's just north. You walk straight north from the portal basically to Varaxis. You enter Umbra's lair, and then you'll head basically northeast until you encounter Umbra's chamber past all these baby dragons. And again, beware of the baby dragons. They will try and kill you. They're the only aggressive mob in the game, and they do have a chance of burning you. But you're just going to follow the path that I show you here until you come all the way up to Umbra. And you see these two guys are doing Umbra right now, and you will be fighting this boss a lot to get to the Umbra Pet, unless you're insanely lucky and get him on the first try. But for me, it took me around 400 kills to get my Umbra Pet finally. So there's that. Yeah, that's where Umbra is, and you must fight him many, many times if you want to get the Umbral set and the Umbra Pet. And I'm actually still stoked about the Umbra Pet that I got. I got it in such a wonky way, versing Crashers and all that other crazy crap that goes on at Umbra, that I'm just so relieved to have gotten it. I mean, at the very least, if I really never wanted to go back to Umbra again because of how annoying it can be there sometimes with the different players and things going on, I could just buy the Dragon Eyes, but I cannot buy the pet. So I'm really happy I got it finally. So I'm going to head back to spawn again, and I'm going to touch on the purchased pets and just go over and show you what they look like at least. So if you have any interest in using one of those, go right ahead. They are expensive. They are very expensive, but they are pretty cool to look at. The first being the Pink Bunny, which I don't plan on using, but it is there. If we go into the merchant, it costs 250 shards, and I believe right now a lolly, which is 5 shards, costs about 110,000 to 130,000 coins. So they're expensive. They're very expensive, but you can also use real world money to support the game and buy one of your favorite pets from this vendor. I do actively say support Bart and his team because I love this game and I plan on participating for a long time in this game. I'm going to try and max my guy and whatever and all that good stuff. So yeah, if you enjoy the game, please think about helping him out and those types of things. So there's the Pink Bunny, there's also the Blue Bunny, which is, I guess, the male version of the bunnies. Also pretty cool. I don't know why he's broken. Oh, there we go. He runs around. Okay. He's a goofball. And then there's the Evil Bunny, which is cool. And if I just go over, I mean, they look really cool. I gotta give them that. These cost 250. The Evil Bunny costs 500. There's a mouse. That is cool, very cool looking. I actually didn't really look at some of these guys. I just bought them all out at one shot. I made a donation to Bart basically for, I think it was 20 bucks, and then I paid for all the rest of my shards in money, coins. And I think I paid somewhere in the ballpark of around 80 million coins, accruing all the lollies to get all the shards, to get all the pets. So there's the mouse, here's the rat, which I'm guessing is the white, yeah, it's the white equivalent to the mouse, which is also pretty cool. I like how small they are, which is neat. That's cool. Obviously the kitten, if you guys are into cats and things like that, that's pretty cool. And I'll show you guys the pricing too, but anybody can go check the pricing out. The fox, which is actually one of my more favorite ones. I didn't get to use him because I actually started leveling up the wolf cub instead, because I really liked the wolf cub. But yeah, the fox is cool. And like I said, the baby wolf, which is really, really awesome. I leveled him up pretty well, and I was planning on using him until I got my Umbra drop. So there's the wolf cub, kind of cool. Looks like a coyote to me. I don't know. That's more coyote-ish than wolf because of the ears. I have no idea. And the raccoon, which is by far the most expensive of the ones you can purchase with shards. But he is really cool. I mean, they're all really cool. I love looking at the pets in the game and purchasing them. So like I said, so the mouse is 250, the kitten is 500, fox is 500, wolf is 500, rat's 250, and the raccoon is 1,000, which is very expensive. So yeah, those are the purchasable pets in the game. And I will now move on to the skilling pets. Now, the skilling pets are probably one of the longest grinds you're going to do for the game if you're looking to collect all the pets, and they are the most useful by far. Because any combat pet, including the bat pet you can get immediately from joining the game, does the same thing essentially. It's these pets, these skilling pets, that actually serve a good additional purpose for you when you're doing your skilling. So how I obtained my Woodpecker Pet is I was a high level woodcutting before they released the pets in the update for the new skilling pets, and I actually power farmed these 3 pine trees right here, and I picked up my woodpecker that way, because it doesn't matter what you are cutting as far as wood cutting is concerned. It only counts towards a chance to get a woodpecker is when a log drops into your inventory. So every time a log drops into your inventory, there's a very, very small chance that the woodpecker will drop into that inventory. So the more times you can make that happen, the higher chances you have of receiving that pet that much faster. A good example would be olive logs. If you were to cut 1,000 olive logs, it would take you such a long time versus cutting 1,000 pine logs. Like, the difference in hours would be tremendous, but your chances would remain the same for the woodpecker pet. So if you're only interested in gaining these skilling pets, I highly suggest you just do the lowest level skilling methods possible to achieve the highest amount of chances possible by gaining those material drops. For the woody pet, it really doesn't matter. All of the relics are made at the same pace, so it really is up to you. Like I got him off of damage relics. I was crafting damage relics, and it was my final inventory of damage relics, and he dropped in the final inventory of damage relics I happened to be doing on like a stint of 1,000 maples or something like that. So you could be doing relics of accuracy, you could be doing relics of experience. It really doesn't matter. Woody is completely random, and it took me, I would say, at least 10,000 relics made before he was dropped. And it's an assortment, I'd say, of relics that I made, but it took me around 10,000 relics. So again, your chances are very slim to get Woody, but if you just keep at it, you will get him eventually. Rocky. Now, my method for getting Rocky was actually pretty simple. It was literally, I started at spawn, and my one goal was to get the Rocky Pet, and all I literally did was I came to this copper node right here. I would mine this copper node until my inventory filled up, and then I would sell my inventory to the merchant and repeat. And it took me probably 30 or 40 inventories before I actually just found him in my inventory. I wasn't even paying attention. I think I was doing something else. So I was AFK mining this, and he showed up in my inventory, and man, that was awesome. That was really great. But that was the fastest method I had found. Just mining that copper, selling it to the merchant, and then repeating that process over and over again until he dropped into my inventory. And now onto the Ember Pet, which I would arguably say is the hardest skilling pet to attain. I'm pretty sure I got mega lucky when I picked up the Ember Pet. And all I did to get it was I focused primarily on iron ore. So what I would do is I would come straight down here to these two iron nodes, 1 and 2, and I would mine them until I filled up my inventory, and then I would run straight over to the smithing location at the smithing hub right here. I would smelt my iron bars, and then I would bank them. And then I would repeat that process, go down to the iron nodes, come back up, and smelt and smelt and smelt till I gained around 200. And once I had 200 iron bars smelted, I would pull them from my bank and just go to the anvil with the hammer and do that over and over again, making iron, I think it was iron hats, iron caps, whatever it was, the smallest amount of iron bars consumed to make is what I used, because I wanted all the chances I could get in order to achieve the Ember Pet, if that makes sense. It's just like the rest of them. I wanted the maximum amount of chances in order to achieve the Ember Pet. And that's how I got the Ember Pet. And it didn't take that long, actually. I think the Rocky Pet was the one I spent the most time looking for, and the Ember Pet really only took me, it must have been, I must have made like 400 or 500 iron bars and was smelting them, and then he just dropped for me. But I understand if it's gonna, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own RNG, you know, luck. So, I mean, good luck to all of you who watch this. Obviously, I send my luck to you guys for that kind of stuff. But it could take a lot less time. It could take much longer. It's just really straight luck at that point. And but he is really cool to look at. I really enjoy this pet. This pet was really, really cool to get. And so those are all of the pets in the game. Obviously going to take out the pet that I use the most now, which is the Umbra Pet, because obviously it's by far the best pet in my opinion. It's just the one I struggled to get for such a long time. So yeah, those are all the pets in the game. And right now I would like to, before I give my shout outs, I will touch on one final thing about pets, which is if you ever wanted to rename your pet like what you saw me with my Insanity and Jerry, you go and get yourself a pet name tag. And it does cost 120 shards, which is decently expensive, so save your shards and the candies and lollies you get until you get a pet name tag. And once you get the pet name tag, whichever pets in your inventory at the time will be renamed. So be warned, I'm not entirely sure how that works out. Just make sure that the one pet you want to rename is the only one in your inventory when you go to use your pet name tag, just to make sure that you don't rename another pet for some reason. And yeah, that's how you rename your pets, is this pet name tag right here. I'd like to give a shout out to Stuart. What's up, Stuart? Thanks a lot for subbing to my channel and saying what's up to me in the game. That's pretty awesome. I'd also like to say a shout out to Hotaru. I really hope I pronounced that, man, but what's up? Thanks for watching. Minari. She's always saying hello. I hope it's a she or a he. I'm not sure. He or she is always saying hello. And what's up? I really appreciate all the stuff you were saying to me. And yes, I will continue to make my guides and other Curse of Aros stuff. Kurukut. I hope some of your guys' names, man. I swear. Kurukut, what's up, bro? Thanks for watching and thanks for supporting my channel. Warlock Slayer, again, thank you so much for watching. And I want to give a special shout out to Night Whisper. Night Whisper has gone above and beyond like a cool player for the stuff that I needed and the stuff that I had problems getting. This person mined cobalt for me, mined wood for me, and he never wanted me to pay him, but obviously I would pay him what he was trying to sell me, and I would check the market to get a gauge of what it was supposed to be, but he really never wanted me to pay him. But that's just not how I roll in this game, and man, my hat's off to you, Night Whisper. That was really freaking awesome of you to be doing what you were doing. And before I end the video, I want to give another special shout out to Mod Zaya. I follow Zaya on his Twitch stream, and I talk and hang out with him all the time. And if you guys want to check him out and what he does, he's an awesome guy, man. He will answer any questions you have. He's so chill. And he's actually helped me out big time in this game as far as any questions I've had and things like that. So I'm going to leave a link to his Twitch stream in the description for anybody who wants to check out his stream. And I also will give another shout out to my guild, the Phantom Guild, PHG. It's a great group of people. I know there's been a lot of guild warring going back and forth and guilds changing hands and craziness going on, but PHG has stayed very balanced. Everybody's really happy and nice. That's been my experience. I know people's experiences differ, but they have stayed basically true to how they've always been, which I really like. I like that they basically just stayed cool and neutral and nice this whole time as far as how the game has been progressing for me and my changes to the things that I do. So if you want to check out my guild, the Phantom Guild, I'll also leave another link in the description as always. And you can even think about joining us. You can look at all our stuff, and if I'm there, I'll answer any of your questions personally. So yeah, going forward, if I might be doing some leveling guides, I'd rather be touching on just different tips and tricks, to be honest with you, different money making methods, just simple ones to get your foot in the door to start, grinding away at gear until you're comfortable enough running boss runs to get your own loot. Yeah, and I'll just continue to follow the progression of this game and give you as many guides as I possibly can when the new content does eventually drop. And it will. It's going to be coming pretty soon, actually, probably sooner than we think, based on how much work the devs have been putting in. So that's really awesome. And yeah, I will continue my grind with all the rest of you, and if you see me in game, give me a shout out. I'll be happy to say what's up. And I still really enjoy making these guides. I apologize for this one coming out a little later, but I hope you understand that I tried to collect all of the pets before I did the guide. And yeah, again, my name is Madness, and thank you for watching.